You clicked on this video, you want to improve at chess, but you are listening to the wrong chess teachers. That's why you are here, because I don't gatekeep information from you like the other chess teachers. Like exactly in this opening, a lot of chess teachers tell you to memorize or understand your openings. If you only memorize your openings, you will not know what to do in a middle game. If you only understand your openings, you will not get a winning position from the opening, most likely. By the way, for my audience that watches me a lot, which is probably five of you, but whatever. I switched my layout. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. Maybe this should be a bit bigger. It's not in front of anything. Oh, it's in front of this thing. While my opponent is thinking, let me just switch up some things like this. I'm not completely convinced yet, but let me know in the comments the feedback on my new setup. So my opponent took the pawn, will probably take with the bishop. Now go back here and we will have a awesome center. Something like d5 will probably happen and we will just log the center, and that is exactly the power of memorizing and understanding your openings. I know in this position that this is all of the best moves. Now we will just develop and go for a kingside attack while keeping the whole position very, very, very locked. So plans from here are sometimes things like queen to g4, which looks a lot like a Vienna copycat. If you know what I mean, you will know. Just pressuring this, and if you defend it, it creates a lot of very, very bad holes in your position. By the way, this knight can't really develop now, which is very, very annoying. And castling queenside is also not very recommended because we already have this open file to it, and our queen can join very fast with our bishop. Our knight only needs two moves, and this bishop can trade itself off if this bishop proves to be very, very strong. So this is a fantastic opening. I might create the weakness not right now, but if he decides to castle queenside, I would leave my queen into a position where it can go here very, very fast. So I think I'll just develop this knight. Maybe taking control over g5 or something. I'm not sure yet. But we will just get this bishop out, pointing towards his king, getting the knight out, pointing towards his king. And if he castles kingside, he will just run into a very strong attack with a closed center. If you want to attack on a side, you should close the center first. And if you don't do that, I don't know what that move does. So it's not pressuring this. This is well defended, and you cannot infiltrate anywhere. So I really think that's a bit of a nothing move that does not have a threat. So let's just keep developing. Maybe you are trying to castle queenside. Oh, you are. um, this is a weird position. Um, Yeah, I mean, castling queenside is not really recommended, but I will have to prove why. So, are you really gonna castle on this open file? If he queenside castles, I think something like c4 should just kill him. If he takes, I will take. Yes, you have a lot of pressure on this pawn, but your bishop blocks everything. And I have so many open lines to your king. I really don't think you can do that. And if you take, I will probably take with the bishop. And now I have this very, very strong bishop. Already, if you decide to castle, I will have something like bishop going to c5, kicking the queen and the pawn behind it. Your queen will have to move and the a7 pawn will be hanging. So I really think you should not take my knight. But if you don't take my knight, yeah. So my opening was quite good, but then the follow-up in the middle game was a bit worse, and that is what I will teach you from my course. So this is my opening course, and this course is designed so that you have a easier time and memorizing your openings, at least the start. And the higher your elo, the deeper you should memorize your openings. And after you have memorize the adequate amount of opening theory, you should just know the lines and the plans and the samples. And I include a lot of sample lines so that you know what to do after. So I will show you exactly what I mean. So after e4 and c5, I have a3, and my opponent played this e6 ID. So I have this memorized after take and take and take. I have memorized c3, d4, and I have memorized after d5 that I should play e5. Until this point, I have memorized. But from here on out, I know that you play this in a lot of ways like a Vienna. I know that the bishop should go here. A lot of the times the knight goes like this, but sometimes the knight goes to g4 to, the queen goes to g4 to pressure the g7 pawn. So after a sharp line like f6, I should already develop the bishop, and after take queen check, I already go material. That is one weird and sharp line that exists in this position. But our opponent went for something more peaceful, like knight to c6. I'm quite sure I developed the knight. I should have developed the bishop first. If now he goes for something weird like f5, I have h4 already just attacking him and I will be fine. And if something like bishop to d7 happens, just again a very passive development move, now I should go for queen to g4. And I did develop my pieces, but after that, my pawn chain points towards the king side. So I really, really should attack the king side. Instead of attacking the king side, I focused mainly on the queen side, and sometimes that's good. But mainly if I have so much pressure on the king side that my opponent develops queen side. And you will see that in the sample line. So here I exploit the weakness of this pawn, forcing him to weaken his dark squares and making this awkward pawn formation. I can exploit that awkward pawn formation with h4, forcing you to either give something up like this so that I just have a target, have a weakness, have something here, and I just force you to have more pawn islands, which is always good because that creates more targets easily. So probably forcing something like h5, then the queen can just slide back, and after you develop the knight, we develop the knight to go like this, which you, by the way, see a lot in a lot of lines in the Vienna. Then he should just do some counterplay on the queen side. We can develop the knight, maybe intending to sacrifice, and after the queen moves, intending to queenside castle. We can kingside castle, queenside castle, and now we can finally slide. If the bishop takes the free pawn, we can now take this diagonal. So we sacrificed a pawn to gain access on this diagonal. After you try to counterattack us somehow, we can now attack the queen. If the queen moves, we develop the knight, not really to develop the knight, but more so to make space for our rooks. And after the queen preemptively goes out of the way of this rook, we can now slide back the queen to set up sacrifices on a6. And after the top engine move, which I cannot really explain you, we kick the queen, queen has to go, we take this pawn, and after take, queen take, and this, we are now down some material. But after we just go back, everything is fine and the king is very, very weak, and we will be able to exploit this with our rook. So after the knight moves, stop engine move, but don't ask me to explain. it's already a very, very weird and delicate position. So probably your opponent will not find the best move, but you will know all of the plan's IDs and tactics. So you will be way better weapon. So after G3, the bishop has to move. We can now activate the knight, support the center, and kick this bishop again, probably forcing it to take the knight, and now we can kick the queen. After we kick the queen and you block, we can now take this because now we forced, with this knight, we forced the bishop to take our knight so that this knight is not defended with the bishop anymore, only with the queen. So we attack the queen to force out this bishop, and now this queen is defending this bishop and this knight because we forced our opponent to take our knight. So now we can take this knight with an attack on the rook, and the two best moves are actually king to d7 or rook to e8. Let's say he takes back. Now we can give a check, and give a check. And now the queen is already lost. And after take with a check, you take back. We can even take the bishop or take this bishop. And I mean, don't hang your queen though. So after take, give a check. Probably blocks with the bishop, and then you can take this bishop. Is probably the best line. So I don't want you to memorize the whole 30 move sequence. I just want you to understand the plans so that you don't think I'm selling a course which only gives you the opening moves to memorize, but you don't actually teach and you don't actually know chess and you don't know what to do after. And then you just panic and hate me. So I will also show you one of the most popular lines, which is knight to c6, and after b4, take, and take, we have c3. After the knight goes back and d4, a lot of people play d5, and after take and take, a knight to a3. All of this I have memorized, and after e5, one of the most popular moves, we have knight to b5, all memorized. And a lot of these things look the same and you just do the same thing. So this is not a very, very difficult opening to memorize everything. After bishop to d6, we have something very, very beautiful. But I will not go into great detail. For that, you should buy the course when it's out. We are just trying to fork him, so he moves the queen to defend the square, and after d5 attacking the knight, it can either go back to e7, and after d6, if it goes back, we can just fork him, and there is a long line, which you do have to know by heart. It's very difficult. And if the knight moves to f5, trying to attack this pawn and win it, we still have check, and actually the queen should sacrifice itself, and if the queen doesn't sacrifice itself, we have bishop check and mate. I had this in a video like 2 weeks ago, I believe. So let's say in this situation the knight goes all the way back. We still push the pawn, very easy to memorize because that's the same thing we did in the other line. It's defended twice, attacked twice, and now we threaten this fork supported by the pawn as a anchor. The only way to stop it really is knight to a6, and after we sack the rook, give a check and the king moves, we have queen check, don't take the rook. He takes, give this check, and now he has a lot of options, but the only thing you should know is that after king to e7, that is the only line that does not lead to a checkmate. If he plays anything else, use all of your time to find checkmate. So after king to e7, we can give a check, give a check, give a check, and royal fork. That's a forced sequence, and we will go up a queen at least. So you should know this line, and one more line I want to show you. After something like king to e6, I already told you that every line except for king to e7 is a checkmate. So you can look for the checkmate. It's bishop c4, the king moves, queen check. I did find this all in a live game without memorizing it. If you don't think your tactical vision is that good, you should just consider memorizing it. And if you're confident in your tactical vision, there's no need to memorize it, and you will just find it if you know that it's checkmate, and that's enough. After g4, if the king runs to the side of the board, we have takes and takes, checkmate, and if the king runs to the center. Here in the live game, which is like 3 weeks ago, I think, on my channel, I thought about knight with 3, and after take, I thought that queen to e2 was checkmate, but obviously the pawn will defend that. So I did mess up. If I found f4 en passant and takes, I would have had a 20 move checkmate, 100% accuracy game. But I messed up and I played knight check, thinking that this was mate. I still won the game, but it wasn't that clean. But I mean, you could say you memorized 20 move checkmates. What are you doing? But I mean, e4 I always play. This is easy to memorize. That's just my opening. After take and take, this is just the point of my opening. This is the most popular line we take and put our knight on e3. And after something like e5, and basically every line we put our knight on a5, there are only a couple of exceptions where we don't do that. And then queen goes back, the most popular line. You always should think about if you can attack this knight, you probably should. And that's just a rule that will help you memorize like 20 lines. Just attack the knight, it goes back, push the pawn again, just push these pawns. Most likely the best move. And after this, you should just know the rook sacrifice, but that's quite easy. Then you fork, which is just the whole point of your opening. And here you should know that you just give a check with the queen, give this check. And if he moves like this, you just have to know that there is a checkmate. And if you think long enough, I found live in the game without memorizing check, check, check. And then I should have found f4 check. If I found the f4 check, I had a 20 move, almost every move memorized checkmate on the board, and it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. I just showed you that everything makes sense, and that's why my course is built like this with a lot of sample lines so that you know the plans, but the plans will also help you a lot with memorization. So if you think I earned your subscription, you know the button. If you're not convinced, let's go back. So you're fighting for the pawn break, which is understandable. So if I still do the pawn break, knight take, knight take. I, by the way, can just kick your queen. I kick the queen. Where does it move? If it moves here, I can just kick it again. And then probably take with a check. So what if I kick the queen? If you take this, I take a queen, you take a rook, I take a piece, so I don't care. So I kick a queen. It probably has to go back like this. And then what? Um, I can get my knight in with an attack. If you take, I take with a check. Your king will probably have to move or your knight has to go back. Um, yeah, so I think this is a very good move. I'm just attacking the queen, and the queen is positioned very, very awkwardly. And yes, it's only defended by the knight, so I always have to keep takes in mind. This eliminates the defender of my rook, but the rook is not attacked now, so it does not matter. I could do this, but then something like takes might be complicated. I think that this is just a nice move. I'm again attacking this queen. So you practically have to take and take. Now I have this check. And you have to move the king, which is very, very awkward. And now, is this pawn hanging? Yes. And I probably should care. So let's just move, defending everything. And now the king is stuck in a very, very awkward spot, which is fantastic. So now I should think about how do I proceed this. So you are just attacking my pawn. If I push it, that does not make sense. Do no. So let's just keep defending it, I guess. But if I defend it like this, if the knight jumps in, that might be awkward. But I don't really have another way to defend that pawn, do I? So is there nothing? I feel like there should be something. Um, I mean, I might be able to give this up if take, this happens. You can move the rook while defending your knight. Um, that does work, unfortunately. So can I take control over this, for example, so that after take, I kick you with a skewer and I tactically defend it, but that doesn't work. That's annoying. So I guess I have to do this, which is unfortunate. He can just get in now. I really didn't want to give him this. But I mean, it's whatever. So, center is closed, king is awkward. That's really what this is all about. The one annoying thing is that you do defend this quite well. That looks like it creates a lot of weaknesses. So now I see this type of structure. I really want to get in like this. And I will. So now you can't really develop the knight anymore. Like you could have developed the knight to an awkward spot just to damage the structure, but at least get an open file for it. Now that idea is dead. I can just do this. I really think that this is the idea. King going there is probably the idea, but I don't really care because I don't think it's that strong of an idea. So now I can just hold my knight in. I think I have threats of like take, queen takes, and I don't see a checkmate yet, but it looks so active. Like there has to be something there. Maybe not now, but in general. Mm, I mean, this is a checkmating threat forcing you to take and take. Then my bishops are incredible. Wait, that has to be a blunder, I believe. So I can take, and you have to take, then I can take, and I have an attack on practically everything, including your knight. And if you move your knight, then I can even take or something. I really think this should work now. So take. If I take and you take, there is nothing, I believe. I do have check though, so take, and check. Does that accomplish anything? I don't think so. So take, and take. Your king is incredibly suffocated. You do have to save your knight. Only way to do so is by moving the knight. And now what? Now what? I can take this pawn. Um, I could maybe take this. No. The rook sees it. But I mean, take, queen takes, knight has to move. There has to be something here. I mean, maybe just takes to take and then get my bishop active. That might be something. So take, 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 knight moves. I don't have a useful check, sadly enough. So probably I'll just take. And I mean, I have a passed pawn already and a very active queen. I don't know. It feels like this just works. Take, take, knight has to move. Then I can take this pawn. I have a threat on a lot of things, I believe. So I really should think, does check accomplish anything? I don't think so, because you wanted to go here anyway. So I think I'll just take. You will have to move out of the way. And then it's quite sad that I cannot put more pressure. If I had a way to put more pressure, it would be awesome. But I'll take another pawn for the road. And I mean, you have a weakness, and I guess a win condition here. But with this passive knight, it just doesn't feel good. I don't know. And I might have an idea like this to pressure the knight even more and pin it. And maybe then something like the bishop coming back to put more pressure on this knight. I do need some more development. Maybe something like the rook just going here first before I sacrificed was good, but I mean, we're in this position now, so let's not complain. So let's do this. And yeah, I really believe in this idea. I don't really see how you can defend that in the long run. This is well defended because it's defended with a bishop. If you do this, I think I have to take, which is quite a sad thought. Because after this and take, it's only defended. Yeah, so what if I move the bishop? I move the bishop, you can move the knight back. Then this is undefended, which is very bad. So do I have to take? Um, if I do this, which was my plan anyway, and after and take, then the queen cannot take, and I can still go for this ID. If I do this, you go back. I can defend this pawn with a rook after. Oh, that's nice. Do I want to go here or here? Because I don't think my bishop has a future like this, right? Because you can always take. Maybe if my bishop wants to rotate like this, the king might move wrong. And I don't have a future like this, except if I can do this with a check, maybe. Like take, take, check, and win the queen. Oh, that looks awesome, yeah. So let's do this. Trying to maybe set up something like queen takes, the king has to take, and then I have this check, winning the queen back. I do have to calculate that you do win a piece as well, so probably you will win a pawn in that sequence for now. But if I set it more up, maybe there's something. Queen takes, king takes, check, take, take, and I don't need a rook on the FL, so it doesn't make sense for now. But I mean, I will always put my pieces as forwards as possible, so if you move like this, then I can move in here to attack and defend the pawn. If you then give me a check, I will just move my king probably. Attacking the knight again, which will have to move again. Then I have to move my rook again, attacking the knight and defending the pawn. The one issue is that the knight will actually not be hanging because of this rook. Oh, but it's hanging because of this rook. Hold up. So here, 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 I can move and you cannot go here because I just take. Yeah, that's how chess works. Awesome. So, yeah, so I saw this and I just calculated this. Um, yes. Oh, you can take. Wait, what? Why did I not think about that? Um, yeah, should have thought about that. So take is take. Um, take. Maybe I can push because you cannot take because of what? I have no clue. I mean, I think if I take, you give this check, right? So I probably have to move my king, and then it looks like I just get forked always. Or I defend with the bishop, so I take, you take. I defend with the bishop, the queen will have to move again. Then I might be able to take actually. So take, defend. Um, you do have check. And I cannot answer that except with move, take, and then you have to defend this. Um, like that. And then maybe something like bishop to b4 is my only hope. I think I calculated that correctly, so maybe I can just sacrifice everything, like sack a rook, basically. So I calculated this, right? I think this is your only line, and I can sack my rook. And you cannot take it because I will take with a checkmating threat. The only thing you can do is rook to e8, but then I have bishop to b4, and the bishop's actually pinned to the checkmate on f7 with the rook and the queen. Very difficult to see, but I will watch it a bit closer in the analysis. What if you take and defend your bishop? But then I can do something, right? Bishop takes, rook check. The king will have to move. There's no way you survive. Maybe there is. That's disgusting. I don't know. So here I just move like nothing has happened. And maybe something like, oh, you cannot do that. Maybe you can. Oh no, your rook is hanging with a check. So you have problems as well. Oh, that's an ugly move. So, what if I take, and now I have two passed pawns, which is quite strong. I'm willing to look for something else, but I don't see it. Like, if I do this, you just take. If I just take the queen, you probably take with the pawn, don't you? So, I cannot take this. Probably takes as my best option, and after take and take, I will have to try and push my pawns very quickly. Do this to threaten something here. Am I able to pose a threat where you cannot take? Oh, I can do this. And you cannot take because I have takes with a check. You will have to move. There's no way you're on a dark square and I cannot exploit it. Shoot. Wait, so I move here, and if you take, I take, you move. My queen's hanging, so I have to move back so I can set up something like check. I have to move back. Then you just have check. I have to move up. So here, take with a check, you move. And what? If I move back, you don't have check. That's clutch. So I go here, you can take, I can take, you have to run. You could block as well, but that doesn't make sense, I think. I can attack it and done. So I have to move back to stop your check. You have all of these options, and I have to debate that this is a good plan combined with E. Okay, let's go. So now I'm threatening this, and I don't even. I think it's a threat. I think if you do something dumb, I get this and I'm threatening mate. You will have to defend. I can take, and still take or something if you were to take. I do have to calculate. What about this? And I play E6. Because you do have to stop mate. And if you stop mate like this, I can take with a discovery attack. Yeah, so what about E6? I might take, you run, and I move back, but what about E6 now? How do you stop mate? The only way you stop mate, can you just run? I have check, you run. No, right? That should be impossible. So I do this and you can just run away, but then I take with a check and you should be dead. You can run. Um, there is no way you survive that. So E6. And if you defend like this, I can take. I'm not threatening anything. Oh, you cannot do that. That's just a hanging rook, but that's a hanging rook anyway. So after this, you sack a rook. So if I take, I still have the same threat. So that might not make sense. Yeah, I don't know. I'm willing to bet on this. If you cannot defend mate with this rook. I don't see how you defend mate. You have to do this. I will be able to do this with a check. You will have to move like here. And then it's very sad that I don't have a distraction or something. If I could do check and you take and now you don't defend this pawn, that would be very good. But that's not how chess works, unfortunately. So I think you have to move here. If I give a check, you move. And then I don't know, maybe this works. Check, I move. I don't know, that's a bit weird. I probably have to keep covering checks. So after this, I think I take with a check. What if you just slide back? That's disgusting. Maybe I can go here to threaten check. You have to sack the rook. I can take. You'll have to take the pawn. Um, I don't know. I don't know. If you do this, I can take and I'm still threatening mate and I'm still covering this check, so that does not really make sense. I think you really have to move the king. After the king moves, I take this with an attack on the rook. So you have to move like this. And then after this, take and take, I don't cover the diagonal anymore, which is probably bad news. So I don't know. You move the king, there's no way there's nothing here. I can take with a check. If you move here, I have check. Yeah, and if you take, I have take, and I'll survive that, I believe. So I really think that after this, here you have to move like this. And then I have... Then I have... Queen goes back. I didn't see this. So take, you have to take with the queen, and I can just take the rook. And now I'm up material, no? Take with the queen, take the rook. Um, that has to be bad, and you cannot discovery attack me. You can only double check me because the queen is hanging. So you have to do this. I can take, you will have to defend, and maybe even a move like this works in my favor. So this check unfortunately doesn't achieve anything, but I have check. If the king runs, yeah, I don't have a check in this occasion. Are you threatening something? I don't know. The only threat I see is something with check and my queen. So what if I just take check? I block. Mm, I mean, then I'm up a pawn though. And material is very equal. My king is just not that strong. I don't know. Let's take. So if you were to have a discovery attack, I'm cooked. But after check and I block, the discovery check doesn't do anything anymore. If you were to have check, I have to block and then you would be able to check. But I can also take, so it doesn't make sense. If you take, I'll take with a check and take the bishop. And I'm trying to do this with a check, so you have to move, and then I will have some form of a check to get my queen active. So I might have something like this, by the way. So you have to defend, and I can put more pressure because after take, I have take, take, and take, and then I traded off everything. This is a threat, though. Maybe. So I'm up a pawn, but it's very, very complicated. I really do have to be very, very careful. Um, I don't know if you trade queens, I will probably do so. Defend everything. You can push. I can still castle. Oh, but then this is hanging. I don't know. So maybe play this and castle. It's a weird move, but okay, I saw this. So um I wanted to take and defend. Do I really want to defend? Do I really want to defend? I mean, what else, right? So defend passively. I don't know. I mean, the only threat I can make is if you take this and I get this bishop check. So if I do this, you will just take this pawn and take my queen. So I will trade queens. I have to defend everything, defend everything again. Maybe my king should just go towards the center. Why castle in the endgame? That doesn't make sense. My king should go towards the center, towards the pawn, and be more active. So I'll probably stabilize everything and then put my king and my rook to defend against the a pawn. So this is again, I'm up a pawn, but the pawn isn't really felt. And if I have to say something, it is that the a pawn is a massive threat. So probably I have to stabilize so he can do this. I stabilize my position. He pushes again. I have to move my king. He can push again. My rook can move. He can push again. And now this looks scary. He's one piece away from promoting. And if the D pawn didn't exist, I was cooked already. So Now I have to stabilize the position and then go for the end game where I'm up 2 pawns after I win this, and then it's easy. I can just push this, and after take and take, I have two connected passed pawns. So I have to win the A pawn, and if I win the A pawn, the game is over. How I came to that conclusion, and what is very, very practical for all of you, is that I just see that this is my win condition. I see that this is his win condition. And I'm now thinking about, am I winning or not? I'm up a pawn, so I should be winning, practically speaking. If you're winning, you don't want complications. So I want to stabilize the position, be active, be more active, and stop his counterplay to stabilize the position. So I will make everything very, very solid. And after everything is very, very solid, then and only then I will proceed to try and win the game. But as long as all of my pawns are not defended and he has an A pawn, it's not a stable position. So he will probably play a5. I don't know what he is thinking about. And after g3, a4, king d2, a3, rook a1, rook a8, king c2. Um, yeah, he will probably lose the pawn because you cannot really do anything. And if you defend the pawn, I can come closer and attack it again. Maybe he can defend with some checks, and I cannot really hide my king. I don't know. Yeah, so that was the most logical move. Let's stabilize the position. You can push. I'll run my king. You can push. I'll attack it. You can defend it. Yes, so let's defend it. You will have to defend it. I'll get my king closer. Oh, you can defend like that. Interesting. So is trading bishops in my favor? So you will have to move, maybe? And now my king can hide. Um, I'm not sure. So let's do this so I can set up something like this. I do have to be careful for something like rook check. And if you push like this, it will be easy. So I really want to bait him into pushing his pawn. If he pushes the pawn, it should be very winning. If I can achieve something like this, that doesn't do anything. Maybe I should have my bishop here so that you cannot give this rook check. Um, I don't know. Let's just move the bishop so that I have more complications. Then you will have to go here. And I don't know, I might have something there in the future. Okay, so you try to infiltrate, which is not stupid. I can do this, but can you just ignore it? Because after take, push, I can go back, so it's not a threat. So let's do this. If you push, I can defend it, and now the bishop cannot defend the pawn anymore, which is huge for me. Because then I can just run with the king and take it, and that's gonna be it. So that will be huge. So you cannot push the pawn. He's now calculating, can I give this up, push the pawn, but I always have rook to a7, and you will not be able to promote. So that doesn't work. And if you go in, take, push, maybe something like go in, take, rook behind it, but I still have rook to e1, and you have a2, but I have a1. Oh, I meant a8 here. And then I can just run the king and take the pawn. Maybe first defend it though. And maybe I'm threatening something like check, you have to move, and then take. But I do have to be careful for a lot of things though. because if I have this position, you play something like this. I have to go here because you control this. Then you push the pawn and I cannot go to b1. So after here, you move. I don't have a checkmating threat because I don't control h3 in every variation. Um, I don't know. So if you move the bishop, check. Oh, you have to move the bishop to have that threat. Yeah, and the bishop is still hanging, so you move like that. Okay. So I have 3 minutes. Let's use it. So pushing the pawn is not a threat. You don't have a threat over there. I might be able to do something like this. But then after take, I can take with the rook. And after you move, I can take this. If you push, I go behind it. And if you go behind it, I have C. Oh no, I cannot defend that. So check, run, take, you go behind it. I have to go here. You can push. I have C1 and you promote. So I cannot do that. This doesn't make any sense. If I go back here, you can go back as well. I don't know. If I push the pawn, is this what you're trying to do? Then I can defend though. Maybe I have to move the king so I can attack like this, but then if you push, I stop your promotion. Oh, maybe that makes sense. So I have this. And wait, why was this never a threat? Because of that. So if I move, you do this, I have to defend it. I mean, I could defend like this. So rook here, this, I have that. And after take, pawn take, if you push, I have to go back. This should be winning. What if I first move the king back? Inviting the rook in? And I have to defend and there's nothing. So maybe this makes more sense so that after take and take, I have a passed pawn as well. I think this makes the most sense, yeah. So I really want to put my rook on e3, but anytime you pressure my pawn, I will have to probably make this exchange. So I might as well make the exchange first. And after bishops are traded, this should be very beneficial for me. Yeah, so that happens. Um, Wait, so if I do this, you push, I defend, and that's good for me. I can't really infiltrate. If I do this, you defend. That's about it. So I have to attack from the side like this. If you push, I can defend. So let's do that. So I'm trying to do this. Oh yeah, that's good. That's very, very good. That's very good. Now I can do this and you cannot defend it with the bishop anymore, which is huge. Pushing the pawn is probably a blunder. Yeah, so now I can just defend and now I can just pick up the pawn and everything is very, very stable. Yeah, you can go for counterplay like that though. So do I have to do this first? Probably. So this again comes down to there is no need for complication if you're winning. So let's go for a stable position first. And then I can just move my king like this, take the pawn, and just be up 2 pawns. And that's how you convert very, very easy and safely. This is probably his only try. I don't know what that does. So let's just move. Maybe I should have thought about it a bit longer, but I don't have the time to do so. You want to sacrifice. So what if I go here and just wait a move? If I go here, you have takes. I can take, take, and take. So let's just wait a move. What will you do? Okay, like that. So I move. You'll probably move back. That's valid. So maybe I have to give up. So I go here, you give a check. I go here. You have bishop takes, rook takes, defending this. I mean, I guess after take, I think I have to take. So that after take, I have take and I still defend this. Like this, you take, I defend this, and after this, I don't know. So now I'm only up 1 pawn, and he just created another form of counterplay. This will be a very, very good analysis. He might try to do something like this. I think that's. I don't know if that's useful. I cannot lie. I really think that this is your only plan, so that take, and you can just take these two. Um, so now I can push, and after check this, and your rook is hanging, so you cannot take my pawn. And after check, I again take your rook. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. So now after take. Wait, so if I take, you have take, and then I have to run towards the corner. And after this, it's just a draw. What if I check? Yeah, I can check though. Check, you have to move. I can pick up your pawn, and it will probably still be a draw, but I mean, sure, you have to go here. I have this, and yeah, I mean, this will just be a draw probably. I will never be able to win it. Maybe I should have gone for the easy draw. Why make it a bit more difficult for nothing? Um, I don't know. So after take and take, I come closer, you take, I run. And then if after take I can run. Yeah, I think I have to do it like this, and then it's just a draw, which is quite sad, but yeah, you have to take, and then I can go towards the corner. If you shut me out, you will never be able to take my pawn, and this is just a draw after take, and here you cannot keep me out of the corner. The only way you win with the H pawn is if you can keep me out of the corner. If I do this, you push, I do this, and I gain access to the corner. Yeah, so this here, and I have the corner. Damn, this is just a draw. I'm very curious to see when I could have won. I'm quite sure I have to have been winning at some point. I mean, at this level, yeah, okay, he should have accepted the draw. So I do get 2 points for that. If you learn anything, subscribe. And if you're not convinced, we will go to the analysis. Um, wait, just this. I made a lot of overlays and I have to go through them. So after e4, c5, this is my opening the Mangarini Sicilian. This is all of the theory. That's the best move. This is the best move. That's an inaccuracy, and this is the best move. I will have done an opening analysis, so let's go rather quickly. After the knight out, I should have played the bishop out first. And after the queen out, the bishop out, and the bishop out, knight here is not the best. I should have castled. That's an inaccuracy, and this is a mistake. I should have castled again. Okay, fair enough. That's an inaccuracy. This is the best move, and I thought it was losing. Oh, you can just take the pawn. Okay, I'm dumb. Okay, fair enough. Yep. Okay, valid. So that's an inaccuracy. This is a great move because I still defend and attack, and after take and take, with a check, now I have to keep this in mind, and I defend it at the complete wrong time. I should have just castled, and if you take, I have the incredibly obvious. I have no clue. What happens after castle, take? Knight jumps in with 0 threats. I let him develop his knight. So now I have this very obvious king going to h1. Yeah, very, very obvious stuff. And then after knight to f5, I have this skewer, which I talked about, and even now you can stop it like this. Now I have to kick the knight, and I got into this open diagonal with my own move, and after take, probably take back, kick my bishop, take, take, take. Yeah, take, 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 queen check. Nope. Why not queen check? Oh, because I have 0 infiltration. Cool. Yeah, so that's way too difficult. 10 moves into the line, I still don't understand why I sack everything. So after take and take, this is a mistake for some reason. I do defend it. That's an inaccuracy, but this is the wrong plan. I should have moved the queen, and I don't know why this is so beneficial. After you defend, this is fine. That's a mistake because I have the brilliant move. Take, 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 take. You defend. And this is an inaccuracy. I should have gone for this instantly. So I got all of the right plans, right IDs, and everything. I just chose the wrong one. I'm still winning though. And after this, that's an inaccuracy. I should have taken, which was my first instinct. Yeah, now I have this plan again. Oh, and a free pawn with a checkmating attack. So you can, oh my days. Yeah, if I saw this, it's very obvious, and you don't have a check and you have to defend against mate. And I control these, which is fantastic, and I shut this down. Obviously, I take. You have to take with the pawn, and now I would have gone for this probably. So after you preemptively defend, I don't understand this move though. What am I trying to do with this? Go here. I don't understand why. Why am I trying to go like this to take or something? Why do I have to sack your rook? Take, pawn takes. Queen can take, okay, so that take is take. And now what? I have check. You have to move. Why do I have to sack another piece? Oh, I don't because I have check. So rook takes, then I take this with a check. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's tricky. And now I would have taken this with the bishop. And then I'm up the exchange and that's it. But you do have check, I move, and now you take another pawn. So I'm up the exchange for a pawn in a very difficult position. It's beautiful, but no way I find all of that. To be honest, that was way too tricky. So after all of this and takes, I should have just taken, obviously. And after this, that's a blunder because I just gave away my bishop. I should have given away the rook, which I did see, but I didn't think it worked. Now you have to take, do I have, no, I don't have this check because that's still defended. So I have to go like this. So I can set up check, I guess. And now you have to give away your bishop for absolutely no reason. I don't understand. What have you, oh, you cannot take, obviously. So hmm, what am I even threatening? Like check, take with a check because of the spin. You have to move, check. Oh, you cannot move here. So you have to move. And then I can not. Then what? Oh, do this and I have this threat because your king blocks yourself. But why give up the bishop? What if you save the bishop? Oh, it's not about bishop check, it's about the pawn pushing. Okay, very complicated. I should have calculated this a bit more deeply. Setup looking clean. Give me feedback in the comments about the setup, please, if you made it this far. So, yeah, I should have sacked the bishop, the rook. So after take and take, I'm losing. This is the best move. This is a great move, and that is bad. And after take and the best move, this is an inaccuracy. I saw this, but that does not make sense. I can't just take, and I have another checkmating threat. I saw that you couldn't defend. I was expecting this, which is the best move. I would have taken, and now you have to go like this. This looks freaky, but there is nothing somehow. Yeah, this is difficult, but somehow there's nothing, and he would have been safe. Instead, he did this, and after take, he took with the rook, and he's losing. He should have just went here and left my pawn. That's fantastic. Yeah, so take, and I can take the rook. You have to move, and this is the best move. Now I'm up a pawn in a very, very complicated situation. You trade queens, and I shouldn't have taken. This is a draw. This is fine. Best move. Fine move. Fine move. Fine move. Best move. This is still a draw. This is a draw, and this is a draw. This is a draw. This is a draw. And does anything happen? I'm losing here. If you play this, I'm losing. Oh. Oh, rookin. Move. Check. Move. Take. Oh. I'm actually losing. I let his pieces infiltrate on the queen side. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that was my second option to kick his king out. And probably I want to make this pawn break anyway, so I don't know why I didn't play f3. I thought it was weakening the pawn, but in the endgame, you should move all of your pawns on the opposite color of the bishop. So his pawn structure is actually way better than mine. The one thing is that if he puts this pawn on a light square, he cannot defend it anymore. And my bishop is just too passive. I should have played this. Okay, so now I'm losing, but he doesn't see it. This is losing again, but he doesn't see it. This is losing again, and he doesn't see it. If he infiltrates on the queen side, I am worse. And this is losing again. Damn. Great move, and now I'm losing again. Wow. Take, check here, best move, fine, okay, take. I should have gone for take. And in this position, I should just reach the corner rather quickly. If you take, I can just do this, and you cannot stop me from getting to the corner, except with this, but then I shoulder you. If you do, yeah, if I go here, you have to defend the pawn. I go here, and you cannot stop me from going to the corner. And this is an easy, um, draw. So either you have to shoulder the king or you have to go towards the corner. And you can keep the constant pressure of I will go to the corner and it's a draw, or I will take your pawn and it's a draw. And you have to shuffle between these two. So now I'm threatening to go to the corner. If you do this, this is a draw easily. And here you already lost your pawn. So you have to do this, 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 and there's absolutely nothing you can do. After some check, you have to defend. I can go back. You have to go up. I can go here, check here. And now this is a stalemate. So you have to give away your pawn not to stalemate me. Combined with the threat of I will go to your pawn. If you do something like this, I have this, and you cannot defend your pawn anymore. So it's a draw. And yeah, so actually I was losing. That's disgusting. What was the last moment I could have won? Wow, so this is all just completely losing. The last moment I could have won is if I don't trade queens. So I'm up a pawn, and if I trade queens, I'm lost. So what do I have to do here? So the engine says this. And he has to sack the bishop? Oh, I cannot take because of this fork. Yeah, okay, fair enough. And after this, take. It's still a draw, but why go for this complication? Yeah, so I have to go here. You can take. And then I have to castle. You can do this. And now I can attack the rook because you don't have a threat. You can do whatever this is. And I can do whatever that does. Yeah, and this is just way too passive. I cannot win this. I just have to go back. You have to do whatever this is. I can now activate my queen. Probably I would activate my rook. Oh, that gives up a pawn. Okay, so I have to defend. You can do whatever that does. And I have to play a passive move. Yeah, he just has too much pressure. I cannot win this. Okay, so it was a draw all along. Where was the point where I could have... Oh yeah, so the only point I was winning was here if I sacked my rook. That's sad. So sack the rook, and if you take, I have this, and this is undefendable. Okay, so if you learned anything, like and subscribe. And other than that, I will see you in the next one.